You guys will react to anything.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so this isn't going to be a long video by any means. I just wanted to talk about it because I just found it interesting that people are looking so into it. Don't get me wrong, okay? I look into things all the time. I go a little bit crazy when it comes to looking into specifics about the team, specifics about the players, even when it's not a lot there. But this is a little ridiculous. So if you guys don't know, a picture emerged, and I believe Dejounte Murray posted this, but I saw it in my Discord. So just join the Discord, okay? Link in the description. Group chat, Spurs group chat. Please join it. But yeah, someone sent this to me on the Discord, and it's basically Dejounte Murray, and people are saying, did Dejounte Murray get ripped? And I'm like, yeah, he looks a little buff here, but I don't know if this is necessarily any bigger than last season. It's just that he's flexing. You got to keep in mind, like when you watch players on the court, oftentimes they don't look as buff, especially on like TV, when you're watching it on TV, because they're surrounded around so many other guys that are similar sizes to them, or if not much bigger. And him being a point guard, he's going to always look like one of the thinner ones on the court. Now when you go there in person, obviously he's bigger than you think. And it was the same thing with actually Josh Primo. But anyways, we'll talk about that in a minute. So people are talking about this and they're like, dude, he gotten so big, he's ready to dominate. I don't think he's that much bigger. And you guys got to keep in mind, at least this is what I've heard, okay? I could be completely wrong, but this is what I've heard when it comes to professional athletes. You have to really keep in mind and keep your weight at a certain point, because a lot of your mechanics can kind of change, and the way that you go about your game can change based on how big or small your body is. So a lot of guys don't necessarily want to put on too much mass because it might slow down, you know, their stop and go, or slow down their first step. And that's just what I've heard, okay? Not everyone can be a freaking LeBron James, all right? There's just one in a million. So that's just what I've heard. I could be wrong. You guys correct me, but I don't think that Dejounte Murray got that much bigger. And the reason why I showed that initial photo is because I think what's really needs to be impressive, not necessarily this last season to this photo, but the fact that he's went from this to this. Now I will say that is stupid impressive, and that takes a lot of hard work. I mean, he was not he had none of this. His tattoos have straight up stretched with his physique now. So I just wanted to point this out. But the reason why I brought up Josh Primo is because that was another guy that I would say, yeah, it was pretty doggone impressive. And actually I can't find this photo. I was trying to find this photo, but I was searching through, I just couldn't find it, so I had to go to my own video. But here's a screenshot of my own video, and yeah, we were talking about how buff Josh Primo has gotten, and yeah, he definitely gotten bigger. Look, this is a stupid topic, all right? The real reason why I'm bringing this up, and the real reason I want to talk about this, is because I just want to say, while I think that it's kind of silly to say that our boy Dejounte Murray got that much bigger, I will say this: it speaks volumes of the character that our team has. I don't think, and I could be wrong, okay? I don't think that the Spurs have really came across a player that didn't necessarily work on their body, that didn't end up being at the best possible player they could potentially be. The only person that comes to mind is like Luka Samanic, but even with Luka, everyone knew that he had a low motor, and that was even something that RC Buford talked about, that he has to work on so many things when we drafted him. So that was just kind of a head scratcher, and we were sitting there and just waiting and seeing. Okay, that was rolling the dice. But other than him, I would say that every single player, at least that I could think of, have pushed themselves to that limit and pushed themselves to the best health that they could potentially be at. So I just want to say kudos to Dejounte Murray, kudos to all the players that come to San Antonio, because I have to say, man, we really work on these players, and they really work on themselves. I mean, when you have players like DeJuan Blair that really shouldn't make it in the NBA, and Manu Ginobili, who every single game he's trying to injure himself, be successful somewhat with the San Antonio Spurs. Well, Manu Ginobili was obviously successful. I'm talking DeJuan Blair. He was somewhat successful with the Spurs, and then he went on and he still had a decent career. So I just want to say, like, great job with the San Antonio Spurs when you're going to pick these guys. And I don't necessarily think, if we just want to talk about the draft like briefly, I don't think that the Spurs are going to go into this draft and get a guy that don't have a low motor. I don't think that they're going to make that same mistake that they did with Luka Samanic. I think that they're going to go in and they're going to say, look, who wants to work the hardest, who has the highest motor, and are you going to be there when we need you? And even though I do see the San Antonio Spurs rolling the dice, maybe on a Sochan, I will say I do believe that they're going to pick whoever's the best player available. And that might not be Sochan, that might be Eason. I don't know. Look, I'm going kind of on a tirade here. All I wanted to say was I don't think Dejounte Murray got that much bigger, but I will say from his rookie season, this isn't something to sneeze at, okay? You need to look at this and say, hey, this is a big deal, because not every player does this. And I know that when we think about all the resources they have, all the money that they have, you would assume that would be the case, but it's not always the case. Zion Williamson. Anyways, if you guys want to support the channel, I know this was kind of a silly topic, but I wanted to bring it up just because people sent it to me. But I don't think he got that much bigger. I could be wrong. I don't know. But anyways, if you guys want to support the channel, only $2 a month, Patreon and YouTube members, link in the description for that. And please join the Discord, okay? So you can send me like crazy stuff like this. Until next time, deuces.